afternoon, Quilt Roadies. This roadie is back in the house. It was quite a week, and just to give you a synopsis, I'm going to be talking right now about my experience at the Quilters Affair and the Sisters Outdoor Quilt Show. I'm going to show you some absolutely wonderful gifts that were given to me. And I know I won't remember everybody's name. I'm sorry. And then you will have a synopsis of the show as videoed by moi. G was not there this year. I am bound and determined that next year he should be there, though, because you might want to take a Dramamine or you watch my videoing. And because it was extremely hot in the 90s all week and very hot on Quilt Show Day, I did not walk the entire show. I didn't have Penny the van with me, and so I didn't have a place to rest and go out from. I had to keep moving, so I took as much as I could. And so you'll want to watch that. And then at the very end of this video, there will be an interview that I did with Cheryl, who's Cheryl and her sister Colleen have a floss tube on YouTube called Stitching with the Sisterlies. And although it is considered a floss tube, they have a quilt tube also. And they just do a lot of quilting. I mean, so you're gonna want to follow them on Instagram and on YouTube. But Cheryl is a friend, and so she and I spent the week together. I was working part of the week. She took classes for 5 days, and then we enjoyed the show. So at the very end of this video will also be an interview that I did with her on her experience as a first-time participant of both the Quilters Affair and the Sisters Outdoor Quilt Show. So you'll get some tips and get a sense of what it's like to attend something like this, because it is a bucket list event. So let's see, where can I start? Well, I turned in, the way it's set up is that Quilters Affair is held at the high school, and there are teachers from all over the world that come to teach various classes. Those classes are released at the beginning of January, where you can sign up. So you can kind of get an idea of what you want to learn or what you want to try. I mean, there's so many options. And then my participation is currently as the sit and stitch teacher. I have taught watercolor, miniature, wool applique, sashiko, different classes, but in the last couple years I have kind of relaxed into sit and stitch, which is my favorite because I get to see all the classes that people have taken or the projects that they're working on. They bring them to, and I get the library as a classroom, and it's inspiring. I get enabled along with everybody else, and I get to walk around, and if someone has a question, or especially if they would like an opinion, I am right there. So I did that every day, except for day one. I did take a class with Scott Hansen, and it is the trees. I love it. I've been wanting to do his tree class forever, and so I made one tree. This is, I made it out of my Asian fabrics, and let me tell you, I cannot say enough about how this Yazzie bag was my go-to bag for that class. I mean, it has so much fabric to choose from. All I had to do was unzip this and lay it out front and pull out the fabrics I wanted, and then I'd fold them and stick them back in. This is going to be my go-to class bag from now on. It was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah, I can't tell you. I loved it. But now I have been going bonkers with the ideas. So although I'm doing 6 trees into a wall hanging with my Asian fabrics, I think then I want to do 4 trees in a horizontal wall hanging that is each season, and maybe a Halloween tree or a Christmas tree. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's that pattern, it really boggles the mind. This is going to be, fair warning, a longer than traditional video. So do your business, get your drink, and let's get to it. So when you come into the high school in Sisters, there's a big open area, like they set up dozens and dozens and dozens of tables and chairs where you can eat your lunch. You know, it's just totally packed at lunchtime. There is a pop-up shop from the stitching post so that you, when you're taking a class there, if you need any particular item, they know what the teachers are using, so those things are there. There is like a place to order your lunch if you would like to have lunch delivered for you. There are Cynthia's Sewing Center sets up a pop-up shop to demo sewing machines and long arms. And for people, a lot of people that travel and fly in for this event don't want to necessarily haul their sewing machine, and so they put in a request to rent a sewing machine, and so they have those available there. It's such a well-run program. I can't stress enough what a good time you'll have if you come. They take care of their teachers, so we have lunch, we have all kinds of little goodie bags. My first day at class, I'm going to kind of be a little bit rambly here because I'm still not recovered. But Scott gave each of his students he made these little bags, and it's filled with a spool of thread and a sticker and candy and this little Olfa touch knife, all sitting at your place when you arrive. My brain is not working correctly, you know. When you first, to the right, when you walk in to the high school, is the postcard exhibit. And fabric postcards are, anyone could make a postcard. They're from all over the world, and they are sold as a fundraiser, I believe for arts in the schools. And I have some postcards hanging here from different teachers that I have admired in the past. And they take the teachers' cards, you voluntarily make a postcard, and then they frame them and they are auctioned off. But there are 2 large display areas that are filled with postcards that anyone can send in. And those are sold for, I think it was like $10 a piece. And so I don't have the auction card I got because a friend of mine is bringing it. She was in charge of the auction, and I couldn't get back to pick it up. So I'll show it to you a later date because she is bringing it back to Portland with her. But I did buy 3 of the donated cards, and they are sold for like $10 a piece, I think. And this one here is so pretty. And they're made the size of a postcard. There's certain instructions on how to do this, and this is by Barb Jensen. Yeah, from Michigan. I love things with words on it. And I couldn't pass this one up. This is Susan Cobb. She lives in Sisters, and I actually ran into her while I was walking around. And I love that it says brave on there. Isn't that beautiful? And I do believe this might be one of Kelly Ray's. I should really think about that. One of her designs too. And this one, you might see a theme here because the postcards that I purchased all have writing on them. And this also is by Barb Jensen in Michigan. And this says laughter and delight. And it looks like a nice wine happy hour postcard. Yeah. So those were a purchase. I received so many kind gifts. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you. Thank you to all of you that took the time to stop by and say hi, who shared your love of quilting with me, and who also left me a little, I mean, I feel humbled by it all, believe me. So Judy, Judy from Texas, you really have to wear Depends when you're around her because she makes you laugh so much. But she had made some shoes and we were the same shoe size, so she literally gave me the shoes off her feet. And look at these. She took quilting fabric. It was a class she took. And is that not, and even the shoelaces, is that not amazing? I'm glad I didn't have bigger or smaller feet, or I might not have gotten that. And I also, oh, I love these little thread catchers and towels, stickers, socks. Vicky from San Jose. It was just I'm a thread catcher person, so I am going to have, that's going to be put to great use. My friend Patty, who has been a long time stitcher, she lives here in the state of Oregon, and we have always had the love of wool. And of course she's a lot better stitcher than I am because she actually gets things done. But she made this beautiful pillow. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, I just loved it. It sat on the counter there. My friend Cheryl took this class and gave me the pattern. She kept her pattern because she's going to make it, and she got a second pattern and gave it to me. I think she might have bought 2 patterns by accident. Yeah, you know how we do that. But she's going to show me how she made this because it just takes a special ruler. And, I mean, she made 2 rings in class. I always thought double wedding rings were going to be like really hard. Okay, what next? Let's see, what have we got going next? Okay, this mug rug, of course I'm not going to put a cup on it. I don't want to do that. I want to hang it on the wall. And Kathy made this mug rug. I just think that, you know, I never dived into that embroidery machine It's like I can barely run my sewing machine, but isn't that gorgeous? I just really love that. And then I was given some towels. Oh my gosh. Bee towels, bee towels. I'm going to have to make pillows out of them because I can't get them dirty. I don't want to get them dirty. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to think about this. We'll have to think about this. Okay. Also, passing on the stash. You recognize this one, the trees. So this is a brand new pattern. Zale, she, you know how sometimes we purchase the same pattern twice? Yeah. So this is going to be a giveaway. If you are interested in diving the deep end on this project, which is, it was a journey, but I can't tell you, looking at it over there, it just fills me with such pride. And so if you are interested in being in the running for this particular chart that's never been used, just trees. Put in the comment trees, because that's what I always call them, the trees. They're never-ending cross-stitch of trees, yeah. And she also passed on to me these two old charts, and I'm very excited about these. I mean, look at this chart. This 8x10 size chart was $3.50. But one is Mount Bachelor. Going to do that for my older son who spent all of his life on that mountain practically. I mean, he used to be part of the Mount Bachelor ski team and knows every run up there. And then this is the mountain I can see right out here, and that's Mount Hood. So I'm going to be doing that one for myself. Yes. And then, don't we all buy an extra kit? Yes. I love this though, because Bonnie Sullivan, you know, I told you before I met her mom. I was sitting next to her mom at the Mid-Valley Quilt Guild, and I just love her stuff. And I love things with writing, so I'm going to be doing that. What else have we got here? Oh, this Susan from Arizona. I mean, I just have to figure out how to get myself some yellow Kohana scissors. They've been sold out, so because I have the cutest scissor holder. Isn't that adorable? Oh, and they'd be the perfect size for the yellow Kohanas. So yeah, and it has a sticker in it, and look at this. This is one of those mesh bags that you cross-stitch on. I just can't even figure out how that, and there's a little wand in here for all the little fuzzy threads. So yeah, going to be having fun with this. Oh, and look at this candle. Can you believe that candle? I mean, I can't even believe no one would ever dare burn this candle, but I can't even figure out how they could have even made it. But it looks absolutely adorable sitting here in the beehive. I just have to make sure that my grandchildren don't light the match, keep the match out of their reach. Okay. I'm almost getting to the end here. I'm almost getting to the end. Philomena. Philomena and her husband Ross were staying at the same hotel, and adorable. So I got to see her every morning at breakfast. And maple syrup from Canada. All kinds of fun little things, stickers. I felt like it was Christmas all over again. Stitch and Post mitts. Oh, that must have fallen in there. And then this, look at this beautiful journal. And you know how addicted I am to journals. Yeah. I might, you know, I've been thinking that it's been emotionally somewhat difficult lately. I have no excuses for it. It can be challenging out there, and then when you go to these events, you either miss someone who no longer can come, or you see yourself reflected in the eyes of someone else that's aging as I am aging, and it just makes you somewhat, it just gives you a pause, you know? And so I think what I'm going to do with this journal is I'm going to just use this journal to write each day, put the date and the time, one positive thought for the day. I think when you think positive thoughts and you concretely write them down, even if all you say is the same thing over and over for a week, it plants itself like a plant or a seed in your heart. And I do struggle with feeling sad sometimes, and I find that as I'm aging, I struggle with it a little bit more because I can see either in my own existence or when I view my friends or people. Because when you see the same people every year, a lot of times, I think every year at Sit and Stitch, there's a certain percentage of people who are the same people that come every year. So I get to see them. And although I may not be able to reflect and observe in myself, oh yes, things have changed for you, I see it when I look in their eyes, or if suddenly there's not coming anymore because of whatever limitations have happened. And I'm going to take this journal and make it my Be Happy journal, where I write down each day what I'm happy for in that moment, whether it be that I can bend over and pick up the soap I dropped in the shower. Yeah. It is that. I mean, we have to do that, don't we? We have to do that. So what else I feel? Well, this the Twisted Sisters, and if you've been with me for any length of time, you know that the Twisted Sisters have been a long-time quilt show, and they come for a week. Their mother used to bring them, and now they all come, and they rent a place, and I met them when the place they rented was across the creek from our house in Sisters. And they are fantastic quilters and bag makers. And so they brought me my latest bag, which is this bag. And then it's a bag in a bag. And then a bag in a bag. I mean, really, unbelievable, unbelievable. It was an amazing week. Oh, and I forgot to show you this awesome mug. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I did do some shopping. I know that I didn't need to do any shopping, but I couldn't help myself. I'm just reaching over here. I'm reaching over here. Now, some of this is appropriate shopping. One of these is maybe not appropriate shopping for a quilter, but I dived in. And Scott Hansen has this new pattern called Aki. It is inspired by my favorite Japanese maple. Aki is the Japanese word for autumn, but you can make it any color theme you want. Isn't that gorgeous? I think I want to do it in autumn colors, and I probably have a nice stack of those. And then I just love these Villa Rosa designs, and I love that these were made with panels, because there's some awesome panels out there. And I saw this panel, which I just really thought was cool, and it was the ABC. I can't get it, I'm not going to be able to show you the whole thing, but the alphabet panel by Marcia Durst, you know her, she's awesome, but I just loved it. So I wanted to make something with that. And this, on the other hand, was like, give me a break. Why I felt compelled to purchase this, I don't know. But there was a whole bunch at the Stitch and Post of different kinds of paint by numbers. I know. Mea culpa, mea culpa. Paint by numbers. And it's mushrooms paint by numbers, just in case I want to use my brain in a different way. So I'm going to do that. And Viv, one of Val's daughters, had done this particular one, and she showed me a picture of it, and I thought, yeah, that'd be kind of fun to one day just chuck it all. I'm not turning my sewing machine on, and I'm not going to stitch one piece of fabric. I'm going to paint by numbers. And there were a variety of pictures for this. I've got a lot planned for the next rest of the year. I am doing a sew-along with the Fat Quarter Shop. Gotta love it, gotta love it. So I will be sharing that with you in the future. And the drive home was uneventful, hot, and it was so nice to get back home and sit in my garden. Yeah, and now I get a visit in with the grandkids and start planning for the rest of the year, what I want to do. And yeah, so welcome if you're new. Stay tuned here for some shots that I took of the quilt show. If you have the least bit of seasickness, maybe take a Dramamine. And then at the end, there'll be an interview that I do, or a conversation, I should say. Not so much an interview, but a conversation that I'm doing with Cheryl, Stitching with the Sisterlies on YouTube. Thank you so much for being my friend, and you know I love you guys. Hello everyone. Today I have a guest, Cheryl from Stitching with the Sisterlies on FlossTube. If you are interested, please go over. It's also a channel about quilting, cross stitch, and homesteading. Yeah, right? Yeah. And I will put the links below for how you can look up on Instagram for her Instagram feeds, which are very fun. But today I have her as a guest because we went to the Sisters Outdoor Quilt Show and the Quilters Affair, of which you signed up for 5 classes.
Oh,
Did you?
Is Sit and Stitch considered?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 5 classes.
5 classes. You were busy every day.
I loved it.
Yeah. So I thought it would be interesting for you, since this was her first year of attending, and that she just jumped in feet first, to give you a little perspective and to encourage you to go, because it is a bucket list event.
Oh, it is.
So, what made you sign up for 5 classes?
My brain said I could do it. My body at the end of it said, no, you can't do this again.
So,
No, it actually, the 5 classes was fine because I did the sit and stitch in between.
which
So,
I think is important.
yeah, because you're learning so much. And like Scott Hansen's class really
Yeah.
made my brain think. And that's always dangerous for me.
Yeah, and that was it. But that was on Monday, so that
Yeah.
was fresh. We were rested,
Yeah.
and I was also in that class, and the class was full.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
the fabrics everybody chose were such a wide variety. It was really fun
yeah.
to see all of the different choices that people were making.
And I think that I put the stress on myself, you know, because it's like, okay, the first class, I'm in the show that I've always wanted to go to, and I've got to perform.
Oh, instead of him performing for you?
Yes, I have to perform for him.
Yeah.
It didn't work
It
out
is
so good.
scary to take a class like that requires a lot of scraps,
Yeah,
and to be fearful that you're not going to bring enough, or when you get there and you see everybody else's.
yeah,
But they do set up a store at the school
yeah.
that you can go out and buy fat quarters and yardage if you wanted to add to your class.
And imagine that, I went shopping every day.
Because there were tools too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
There were tools that I knew nothing about that would make life easier.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do agree, because on Friday, a lot of the people on Friday at Sit and Stitch always sign up for Friday. Like, I have a lot of repeat students that come on Friday because they are tired by then, and all they want to do is kind of
Sit and stitch.
and maybe do a little bit of sewing from a previous class while it's still fresh in their mind to kind of cement that.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, so Monday we took together Scott's trees class, which I have been trying for years to get into, but always ended up working that day. So this year I was like, no working on that day. I'm going to make these trees. And I went crazy with the thought. I could make a wall hanging with a seasonal tree. I can make trees for Halloween, trees for Christmas. I'm going to be doing trees for a long time.
And I think Scott was so relaxed. He was such a good teacher that he actually, by the first hour being done, is that the word? Being done?
Yeah.
Go through the hour?
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
it is. I felt much more relaxed.
Right.
And he would come over and talk and chat with everybody. So, you know, that was really helpful.
So know that when you sign up for classes at the Quilters Affair, you also have an opportunity to shop, because they bring a satellite shop there. You order your lunch if you don't want to bring your lunch. There's clubs and fundraisers that will take your order and then have your lunch ready for you when you arrive at lunchtime. And there's the sewing machine. Cynthia's Sewing Center has set up their whole display, and they rent machines out for people who don't want to travel and bring their machine, which we brought our machines.
Yeah.
We had our little machines,
And I think what was great, I did wonder, like, you're carrying all this fabric, and, you know, we're women of a certain age now. But they had young ladies there that
oh yeah,
carted everything in for people, and
right. So
wow.
a lot of it's held at the high school in Sisters. So a lot of the students who are like raising money for teams, like the volleyball team or the basketball team or the track and field, they come with these wagons, and they see that you're struggling to get the stuff out of the car, and they'll load it up and take it, and then you give them a little tip, and it's part of the fundraising for them, which is great. So, by the end of the week, everyone's looking for that.
oh yeah, we were in the windows going, where's the girl? Where's the girl?
Where's the girl? Okay, so Scott's class was the first day.
Yeah.
And then the second day, what did you do?
I did So Kind of Wonderful, which was perfect because I'm such a linear thinker. And Helen and Jenny are the founders of the So Kind of Wonderful brand, I guess. And they make rulers and they do fabric, they do all sorts of stuff. But Helen was a teacher. And so the instructions...
Like a school teacher.
Like a school teacher, yeah. So the instructions are written out perfectly and they're illustrated. So if I couldn't get the illustration, I could actually read.
So she could take a senior citizen brain down to second grade. Is that what you're saying?
Rude.
Well, the thing is that I have always avoided making a double wedding ring because it was just way. I didn't want to even deal with it.
Yeah.
But when you showed me that you already made
three blocks that are, I think they're 18 by 18.
In class.
In class.
With that ruler that they have, I was like, okay, I can maybe attempt that.
Yeah, and also, when I went to the sit and stitch, I could really focus on it and I could figure out, oh, this is what they meant by centering it up to this. So you kind of learn. You go to the class and then you go to sit and stitch and then you can go, oh, this is what they meant.
Yeah, and that's the benefit. Usually at the beginning of the week, sit and stitch, people are bringing projects from home. But towards the middle and the end, they start bringing the projects of the classes that they have taken earlier in the week while it's still fresh in their mind, and they can. And there were like 2 or 3 people working on those wedding ring.
Yeah.
But let me warn you, and this is a fair warning, that when you come to sit and stitch, it's going to cost you more money.
Oh boy.
Because you see what everyone else is working on and you want it.
Yeah.
And
I literally sat there with my phone.
Yeah, and made a list of what you needed to look and shop and do.
And I had Ed not there. Ed had gone fishing. So he was fishing while I was there. A lot of lakes around, and so he was able to go fishing while I was in classes. But I didn't have him there to stop me. And so I'm thinking...
Oh, you had me looking, what are you buying?
Yes.
What are you buying? Oh, I need to buy that too. What are you buying?
I literally sat there thinking, I shouldn't be buying this. Send.
I know. It used to be that there was no Wi-Fi at the school, which really helped.
Yeah,
but now we can do our shopping because the EPP, English paper piecing, there was a lot, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. I am like back on that wagon.
I still am trying to, I still really wanted to steal a couple of them.
I know. I know. And you know, we think of it like back in the day, it's cotton florals and stuff, but now it's fussy cutting, and it was extraordinary.
I mean, this one lady built scenes in her EPP blocks.
Yeah. And
I'm amazed.
Yeah, so it's, even though I'm working and I'm supposed to be encouraging and all of that, I was encouraged a lot. I was encouraged a lot.
And I couldn't believe how open everybody was with sharing their designs that they were making, as well as tricks and tips, and I mean, I made friends, I think, for life.
Right, because the casualness of the sit and stitch and being able to walk around, it's held in the library computer lab of the high school, and so, you know, you could sit all day and work on your project, but I kind of say, oh, well, come over and look at this, or walk around, and you get encouraged by what people are doing. And there are so many repeat, as you noticed, there were people that have come and come and come. So, what's your #1 recommendation for the Quilters Affair?
For the Quilters Affair? I mean, honestly, I think it is. Take as many classes as none of them. All of them were great. You know, even some of the ones that when you read it, you thought, oh, I don't know. But once I went in and saw what they did, it was like new techniques and new ways of doing things and new products and you can't not take too many classes.
And to try to take something you've never even thought you would want to do again.
Yeah,
or do it for the first time.
I already know what I'm taking next year.
You do?
There. Yeah.
What?
I really want to take the stained glass one because they had.
Oh.
And I really want to take the color theory.
Yeah.
And I really want to take Latifah's class. Yeah, so those are my three. But I think you really do need that break in between because well, at least for me, my brain was so overthinking everything that it needed a break.
Yeah, so it is good to have that kind of sit and stitch, absorb everything, and then go on to the next class.
I mean, it was, I can't even say how much I loved it. It was the best thing ever.
To see that many people, especially at lunch.
A sea of people.
A sea of people that all love fabric.
Yeah, and everybody's going, da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And there's no stranger.
No.
And if you're an introvert, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. People come and sit down and talk to you. You're stuck.
So, on Saturday, tell me what you thought about the show.
I mean, I've never seen so many
Did you anticipate
beautiful artwork.
Did you anticipate what it would look like? Or?
Well, what I didn't anticipate was my husband falling in love with it.
Oh, I know. I know. I kept showing G pictures. I said, oh, here's Ed. Here's Ed looking at the quilt. Here's Ed and Cheryl.
This poor one lady had this beautiful quilt, and it looked like a Pendleton blanket. And Ed was like, I think I'm going to redesign that. And he went up and he took a picture really close so he could see the blocks and the...
Oh, no, he's not going to go fishing next year.
Yeah, he's going to be with me. It's going to really stop my shopping.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
So I didn't anticipate how many quilts there would be hung up. I was thinking like the main street, but inside the buildings, down 2 other streets. Right. It's a huge block is it a block? It's a whole downtown.
Yeah, it's
covered
actually
in
3 streets worth of quilts and in between and the alleyways hanging.
And then the specific areas where there were art quilts and there were
because in the show there will be different groups of quilters that will have a special exhibit. Like there's always the featured exhibitor, Sujata, and then June Yeager had a specialty exhibit. There's an area for man quilting. Usually, I didn't see it, but there were different guilds that will have their special exhibits.
Yeah, I heard there was one group, I don't remember their name now, but they all had matching t-shirts. Yeah. And they had their whole little area where they had all their quilts set up. And it was just fun seeing so many people together and enjoying. Yeah. I didn't even notice the heat, hardly.
Yeah, and it was hot all week. So anytime you come to the show, you want to start early and drink lots of water.
Yeah, that was smart.
And there was a lot of kids going around with their wagons selling water, ice cold water. In fact,
and the firemen they had was it golf carts or something that were the rescue? Yeah,
they have a centralized station.
I wanted to be rescued.
Now you went into the Cherrywood exhibit.
Oh yeah, I'm putting something in next year.
Oh,
I'm gonna do something.
Yeah, next year's feature is poppies.
I'm so excited. California. I grew up in California.
Right.
Poppies,
state flower. State flower. But you'll have to go back and just kind of Google the previous ones. I think the first one, Jeff, who curates that for the City of Sisters and the show, did it once we got in. Then every year for like the last 7 years, we've gotten a portion of the exhibit. There are 3 traveling exhibits usually.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and you have to use it's a specific regulations. You can look it up on the Cherrywood website, but there's specific rules on how big, and you have to use the fabric and the fabric looks like leather almost, the way it's dyed.
The fabric makes the quilts look like artwork.
Yeah.
The fabric was, I mean, the artwork is incredible, but the fabric is what really finished it off. Yeah.
And they look, it's the creativity of each individual, what a person saw, you know, and decided to create was just fascinating.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
It was.
Yeah, so you would have seen, I'm not sure where G's going to put this segment in, but you'll have seen the Cherrywood exhibit, so.
It was stunning.
Yeah.
There's no other word to put to it.
They really do an amazing job of fabric dyeing, and it's not prints, it's all solids.
Yeah.
But they are gorgeous.
And I think what I loved about their fabric was the color was so, it was saturated. Vibrant's not the right word. It was saturated. And so a red could be a dark red, but it was so full of color. It was, they were beautiful.
Yeah, so we got to see the pack for next year.
Yeah.
They had the future pack there, and it's poppies.
I'm so excited.
I can't wait to see what you come up with.
I already have an idea.
Yeah. That's the thing about going to something like this, is that all I want to do now, it's gardening time for us, but all I want to do is stay in my sewing room.
I know. But our air conditioner went out.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, I mean, I didn't do anything for these last 2 days since I got, or one day? Have we been home one day?
Yeah. I got home yesterday.
Ed said to me, are you going to do the dishes? I went, when the air conditioning's running.
I can't believe it. You came home to that air conditioner and stuff. So always start early for the show. Take lots of breaks. Be sure, they always publish a newspaper with a map that has all the listed specialty exhibits, so you can go around and take a look at those. And we always hope for that perfect temperature of 78 degrees would be nice. Even 80 would be okay. But it was pretty warm this whole week, so it was a little bit on the challenging side. So we drank lots of water.
But they were so good at caring for everybody.
Yeah.
They were, I mean, they even had a Saturday at the, when you were walking around the street, you would think, oh, it's going to be so hot. But they'd have little areas where you could sit down in the cool, under the trees, and then there'd be water. And there were so many of them that you'd always find one.
And if you sign up for the classes during that week, then you get a discount when you shop in the shop.
Oh, yeah.
And that's always
That was
good.
dangerous.
That was dangerous. Because the shop is exploded. They expanded out to the classroom area, so there was a lot of.
I went in the knitting and I into the yarn.
Did you buy
area.
yarn?
No, because I sat there and I thought, I need Irene. I need her to tell me what to buy. I was so enamored with the way they dye. Yeah.
The colors are amazing. And so it's an opportunity to go to a small town in Oregon, but have teachers from all over the world. I mean, there was Australia, you know, all over the United States, and all types of, there's going to be a class you're interested in, because the variety is, you know, like Lynn Coolish dyeing fabric. There were people with
that would have been me.
Yeah. Some people forgot to wear their gloves. So you have a lot of choices, but you have to pay attention usually on the 1st or 2nd of January when everything comes out, and plan your life around that second week in July.
Yeah.
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 And there's so much to do in the town also.
And it's more fun to go with a friend. It's more fun to go with a friend, because then you can egg each other on.
Oh yeah, boy do we do that.
Yeah, so now I'm going to be making a wedding ring quilt and learning how to use that ruler.
You're going to love it.
Okay, well thank you very much. I'm glad that you sat here and gave a newbie view.
Oh man, don't miss it. If you love any kind of handwork, cross stitch, they had embroidery classes. Charisma did. Charisma Horton did embroidery.
I did not even know she was
Yeah.
doing embroidery, and
Yeah.
I already ordered a pattern.
There's so much
Yeah.
to learn and to do.
Yeah.
So don't miss it.
Don't miss it. Yeah. Thank you. See you all
Bye.
later. Okay. There's my roommate, Charisma Horton. Go check her out.
Okay. Hi everybody, I'm Jeff Amott. This is my wife Bernie, and we're here at the Cherry Wood Challenge for this year. The theme, in case you can't guess looking at us, it's monarchs. There were over 400 quilts submitted for this exhibit. We have 90 of the quilts here, some of the best, and it's an extraordinary quilting exercise with 8 fabrics where the participants are allowed to use only 8 colors of cherry wood fabric and create these glorious 20-inch square quilts. So this is our 7th year. We started out with Lion King 7 years ago, and we've had things like Bob Ross and Prince, and some of you have seen some of those. So welcome to the exhibit, and we hope you enjoy what you see.
say hi?
Hi, great to see you. It's been a while. Did you have a good week?
I am exhausted. Yeah, I had a great week. That's mine.
Is that what yours?
Yes.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I don't think they usually don't want us to.